custom garden originally come from how our people during nomadic days, they travel from one place to another. And as they do that, they put up their huts or shelter, and around their shelter is garden, okay? So that's where the word custom garden comes from.
Kastom Garden is a non-governmental organization established in 1989 in the Solomon Islands. It was the initiative of Joini Tutua and Tony Jensen. The role of Kastom Garden is to assist communities in the Solomon Islands with food security and sustainable livelihood for people at the grassroots level.
Lift it and not break it. So I started this custom garden from the idea of trying to bring back the kind of methods and technologies used by our ancestors. So when I came here, I started a farm. My farm is called Zainatina Organic Farm. Right? Zainatina, Zai means grandmother and Tina means mother. Both of these ladies never fed me with any food which had agricultural chemicals. No way. They grew their food naturally, and that's what they fed me with.
The issue of food security and sustainable livelihood has now become a global feature, and in many parts of the world, governments and communities are trying to find ways and methods to overcome the problem of food security. In the Solomon Islands, Kastom Garden has been working in the provinces and with various communities to promote and get people to revert to traditional ways of food gardening that doesn't only benefit the family but is also income generating.
Our project covers the whole of the Solomon Islands, all the provinces, and a good number of communities we work with. And we have 1,000 plus partners out in the provinces, and we work closely with them.
The success of the work of Kastom Garden is its networks and collaboration at all levels of society, from the communities through to the government.
We are already establishing our networks, and we've been doing awareness program. We've been setting up sort of programs with people in the village to go back growing of local food.
Just outside of Honiara is the settlement of Aroligo, an area where Kastom Garden is well established, and its assistance to farmers have been highly valued. Training programs in Aroligo have resulted in positive responses, given the increasing number of farmers who've benefited from the ongoing training.
Places like here in Aroligo, like it's very dry. And so when we tried out the technique being informed to us, and we see the big difference. And there are a little bit mistakes which are still to be maintained later, yeah? And we are thankful that they always visit us. But the outcome of the training is like 99% positive.
Farmers are encouraged to adopt techniques that aren't necessarily new, but somehow have been forgotten or neglected.
Like at the first place, we do slash and burn here, and without knowing that we are destroying the land. And when the Kastom Garden came and teach us that to burn the grass or the rubbish, you are killing off the soil and the nutrients inside there.
The promotion of traditional methods of gardening is of paramount importance to Kastom Garden, and one thing that is instilled to all farmers is that any form of chemical fertilizer is prohibited.
I could see the difference between fertilizer and organic farming. Like at the first place, we thought that fertilizer is the answer to good crop, yeah? but we find that it's just fertilizer is just another poison. And for organic, it's 100% better than artificial fertilizer.
From Honiara in Guadalcanal to Auki in the province of Malaita to the village of Busharata, here the work of Kastom Garden is also promoted, and local villagers with the support of Kastom Garden have established training facilities to further spread the gospel of Kastom Garden. Lionel has been a farmer for the last 15 years and has received training from Kastom Garden. He's also involved in training and helped establish the Guanifiu Training Center in Busharata. He helps train young people in the methods of gardening that Kastom Garden promotes.
This kind of training center is so very important in rural areas. Rather than we made a big school which is too expensive, but this one is, it's a local type of farmer school, and it's good for people at rural areas. Like, it feeds us because we have nothing big things. We have to start with small thing, small training. So we need this training to be improved.
Lionel's vision to start a training school has been greatly supported by Kastom Garden, providing youths who've come from far and wide with a sense of purpose, but more importantly, the knowledge and skills they can use to sustain themselves. For Lionel, it's important that people who have gone away to be educated return and assist others in the community.
People should, when they go further on training, they should come back and train train the people in rural areas, not they stay in the offices. Like, for example, if things that they learn and then they stay in the offices, they just use computers to plant things inside. Like, we don't plant garden in the computers. We plant garden in the soil. So what is soil? I'm doing now. The really thing is we must understand the soil. Everything comes on the soil. So it's good that we don't plant garden in the computers.
Maintaining gender equity is also an important component of the work of Kastom Garden. Many women have been trained and gone away with acquired skills to become better farmers. Janet Tucker is a school dropout who has taken up farming, which is now her main source of income.
And mainly mi fala lo here lo highlands, main wakablo mi fala na osem farming. Site lo wakem garden, feeding pipig or things osem. As long as time Kastom Garden hem come join with mi fala, and mi fala garem some for skills too. Why Johnny tutua hem come out for come helping mi fala people lo here. So mi fala start for apply now. This fala kind technique why Johnny tutua hem come for so mi fala. Because from before come mi fala have a goal or far away place for wakem garden, and mi fala have a damage him now or the trees blow mi fala. So this time mi fala take him some fala new skills. Mi fala try for apply and mi fala make him out a garden blow mi fala. Come kosap normal lo area mi fala stay lo hen.
There you are. I put another smaller leaf, then wrap it in. Okay, that natural poly bag.
John Sala is a recent convert to farming. He's a former civil servant who sees the good and traditional methods of farming and how his family and community can greatly benefit from it. He's also seen how the slash and burn method adopted by his grandparents isn't such a good method and does more harm than good.
The problem here, which was left by our grandparents and parents, they have chopped off all the virgin forests. They have left the logs rotten, and therefore the effect of those shifting cultivation and slash and burn, now we reaped. Then I pull a seedling out by my left hand, okay, preserve all these roots.
Capacity building and training is a very important component of the work of Kastom Garden, and people like John play an important role as part of a team of country national trainers.
There you are.
Technical assistance to farmers from the government is minimal. So organizations like Kastom Garden and the Secretariat of the Pacific Community, SPC, play an important role.
Those technical advices and technical help was facilitated by SPC through DSAP, okay, and then was facilitated by technical staff of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock of Solomon Island, which was based in Auki.
For the founder of Kastom Garden, Johnny Tutua, there's a passion and commitment to very strongly held beliefs on the natural methods of farming and how families can maximize the space in their backyards.
Fertilizer kills the microorganism. Worse when they are sprayed with insecticides or herbicides and fungicides, all these sides. And many times I said it's time to put aside the sides because we cannot grow healthy food. Our nation must have healthy people, otherwise it cannot survive. Okay, and the health of the nation, health of people depends on the health of the soil. So healthy soil produces healthy food to sustain healthy people. Yeah, and that link, the link between soil, food, and people, that is my emphasis on agriculture, on organic farming. At one stage, we hear so much about green revolution. Now you don't hear more about green revolution. What is wrong with it? Because it destroys soil. So while people are pushing, fast-growing, to feed the fast-growing population, is a wrong concept. Okay? If every family is taught how to grow food in small holdings, they will not be hungry.
The work of Kastom Garden isn't limited only to the promotion of traditional farming methods. It has various other components, ranging from working with young farmers, planting material network, capacity building of farmers, sharing of planting materials, and a livestock component to train farmers on how to take care of their livestock. The response from farmers in the community continue to be very positive.
In the sharing project, we have established 22 germplasm centers, we call it. Okay, 22 germplasm centers. These germplasm centers consist of farmers' field schools, rural training centers, and also communities, a group of farmers. And so far, I think we have been distributing around 20, more than 20 SPC varieties of sweet potato. And these varieties are still evaluated by farmers. So we train farmers to carry out trials on the field, and they use their own best local varieties as a check variety to compare against these SPC varieties. And we are starting to collect the results. So that out of these results, we'll try and see which one is best one that can be introduced. Because we believe if we have enough of good best local or SPC varieties that we can give it out to farmers, then we should avoid this idea of people going to the bush making big gardens so farmers can just have a small piece of land, but at least they can produce enough to feed themselves and also maybe enough to sell for money. Yeah.
In the Western Province, Silas Kere works hard and diligently as the regional coordinator of Kastom Garden, traveling throughout the province, assisting and advising farmers. In addition, he has his own farm, which members of his family work on. As a farmer, one of the major problems he's faced with is water.
Sometimes we just depend on the rain for water, but to manage our crops or vegetable in this situation, we used to collect some rotten woods, and we use organic, just mulching and other things, so that when it rains, then those things store the water.
The family plays an important role in the whole process of gardening. It also extends beyond the immediate family to other relatives and friends.
Yeah, I got my family, just my own family at the first place. And there are other interesting people, women especially, and some men come over and join up. And they also working with us, and we give them materials, and they start off their own garden.
For Silas and the community, there's an awareness of food security and its importance and the need for more support.
That's one big interesting thing, because we introduced this garden especially for food security. That's a priority, yeah. And if we have more than enough, then we can go and sell it to an area like Gizo or Noro, so that there is a money coming to help this farm.
Gizo in the Western Province is the administrative center of the province, and the market on any day is always bustling. Farmers from the outer islands bring in their produce to sell. With the recent tsunami, the Western Province has had to basically start all over again with cultivating the gardens and plantations. And the high cost of food hasn't made it any easier for the people. An assessment was carried out following the tsunami by Oxfam, and Kastom Garden was invited to come in to see how they can assist the villagers. Helen Tau was part of a group of women from 6 villages that went to Kukundu to receive training from Kastom Garden. The training has made a great difference to her life.
Time Kastom Garden come, there are simple ways where me feel saved doing planting, and then I'm not making me feel for some strangle too much. I'm not what difference me feel find them. Me feel learn new methods, new skills. Like one fella now, this fella home skill garden, side house no more, just around the kitchen. Especially me Seleva as a leader inside the church of me fella, inside the Gizo Island and Kolobanga Island. Me one fella, me coordinating with women. Me fella fit him in the program below. Me fella women so. Me fella share him with other women's way. Auto not take him this fella training.
John Holland is a farmer and another beneficiary of the training from Kastom Garden, and he too has seen the difference it has made in his work and productivity.
So me fella come in and then contact with them Kastom Garden. In Kastom Garden, me really try to teach him fella sample something where me fella walk close him, but me fella not understand him that him something to do with him plantings na. Yeah. So that one out the difference is where we find them those side of Kastom Garden.
For Kastom Garden, sharing information and planting materials is an important component of its work. In doing so, it binds family and communities together and strengthens those ties.
Walking garden, vegetable garden, or you involve a Kastom Garden or whatever activity, it's something that we have to involve family. Not only family, if we work as group, let me try to combining groups together. Yeah? Like maybe women's group, they will have to come to the ideas that both have to come together. Maybe we as a farmers, we will have to join in, so that we have to support each other, so that we have to come up with this kind of ideas that now we will practice in Sampala.
If we don't sort of address this issue, then it becomes a very big, huge social problem. So therefore, it's sort of a matter of for the government and for other stakeholders, for that we can sort of work together to tackle this issue. And again, going back to our traditional way of farming, growing more of local food, eating more of local food, it's sort of a matter of urgency for us to do that.
For Johnny Tutua, the journey has been worthwhile and yielded fruit. Kastom Garden is a well-respected and highly regarded organization in the Solomon Islands and in the region. He continues to advocate the use of traditional methods of gardening and the importance that nothing should be wasted.
There are only two processes in life, and that is the process of growth and decay. Now, with all the waste you can see at the market, okay, if that is all plowed back or put back into to the soil, they can grow anything, even around here. With even in the stony and rocky areas, they can grow food, okay? But because they don't know that if we return those waste is not waste, okay? Waste is when nobody knows how to use it. That's what real waste. For waste is food. What is waste from one species is food for another species. Nothing, when you talk about ecological and biological activities, nothing is waste as far as organic wastes are concerned. Most of the food consumed in this country is imported food. And imported food is not food security as far as I'm concerned, okay? Food security means you have food in your garden and food in your kitchen, okay? This government and many other governments after this one should now think about what real food security means, okay? Food security is when people are conscious of self-sufficiency in food, and that is people grow their own food.
For Johnny Tutua and the people who work for Kastom Garden, there is much that has been accomplished, but there is a lot that still needs to be done. And this can only be achieved with the support of the communities, the stakeholders, and most importantly, the government of the day. With the current worldwide economic climate and food shortage in many parts of the world, the Solomon Islands and the rest of the Pacific region is in grave danger of facing a future of dependency on imported food because the soil has been overused and poisoned from the ever-popular use of chemicals. If more people in the Solomon Islands and the Pacific region took out a leaf of Johnny Tutua's Book of Wisdom, then our future could be bright and hopeful.
You know, I learned organic farming from the forest. And the ancient forest floor should teach a lot of us about returning organic matter back to the soil. What grows the mighty trees? Why aren't there so many pests in the forest? There are reasons. We have to understand those reasons.